Coming up in this episode of the Theme Park News Show, I share my thoughts on the addition of virtual reality to a roller coaster at Phantasialand. I also share news on a surprise new dark ride coming to Europa Park, talk about Tornado Springs that's coming to Paultons Park, and so much more. It's Friday, the 5th of April 2019, and this is the Theme Park News Show. I'm Sean Sandbrook and welcome to the Theme Park News Show. It's been a very busy week for us here at Theme Park Worldwide with brand new vlogs, including opening day videos from Thorpe Park and also Drayton Manor. We went to Paultons Park for our first visit of 2019, but more about that later on. Along with that as well, we went back to Chessington World of Adventures for our second visit of the year, and also went to Legoland Windsor to have a look at the construction taking place on the Haunted House Monster Party that of course opens a week on Saturday. Lots of new content, and make sure you check the videos out here on the channel. Now yesterday we went for a visit to Blackpool Pleasure Beach, went there with Alex, Lee, Caitlin, lots of other friends of ours, had a fantastic time, and a lot of us are going to be there for late night riding on the 20th of April, where of course there's a firework display and the park's open until 10 PM. So we'll be filming a vlog from that in just a few weeks time. But yeah, yesterday we had a fantastic time, but I also managed to pick up something quite special. Now as you know, the Kiss Me Quick shop underneath the flying machines sells lots of different authentic ride parts. They normally only sell sort of bits of roller coaster chains, wheels, that sort of stuff, but yesterday I picked up a restraint from the Grand National, one of only 3 Mobius loop roller coasters operating in the world. Really pleased with this. As well, you also get a certificate to say that you've got it, but for me it's the item itself. Think about the thousands, it may be even millions of people that have sat on this seat where this restraint's come from. Fantastic, isn't it? A bit of history from Blackpool, from a great wooden coaster, very highly regarded wooden coaster in the world. It might be a bit rough in some places, and I do think it'd be nice if there was a bit more retracking work done to it. A bit was done over winter this year though. However, it's still a fantastic ride, and I feel lucky to own this restraint. It goes along with my various other items that I've got from Pleasure Beach and other parks around the world, and this is the second restraint that I own. I've got an insulin restraint from Colossus at Thorpe Park, and of course now I've got this beauty as well. But yeah, it's really heavy. I tell you what, I can do me weightlifting with this, can't I? Get myself a bit fitter for the US road trip. But there you go, a little look at it a bit closer there. Of course, all the metal down the bottom, how it would actually attach to the train, and then the actual lap bar itself that sort of fasten a bit like that. But there you go, what a really nice item. Very pleased with that, and it's great how Pleasure Beach sell all of these different items. If you are visiting, make sure you check out the Kiss Me Quick shop. Anyway, lots of theme park news to get through, so it's now time for news on the tracks. We've had quite a good start to the season in terms of weather this year. However, it's just started to absolutely chuck it down outside. I'm quite glad that I hadn't got a theme park trip planned today. Fingers crossed the weather's going to be nice for the weekend, and I'll reveal where I'm going this weekend and talk more about it a little bit later on in the show. But yes, of course, welcome to News on the Tracks, the place where each week I put together all the latest theme park news and I share it with you guys here on the video. Talking of a video, here's a look at this that has been released from Djurs Sommerland in Denmark. Look at this, wow. Of course, this is a brand new Intamin Gyro Swing. It looks absolutely fantastic. My #1 flat ride in the world is Loki at Liseberg in Sweden. Of course, this is the same style ride here, an Intamin Gyro Swing. 45 metres tall, which is 147 feet, and as you can see here, it is testing. Now this footage sent to us by the park themselves, it looks absolutely brilliant. It's part of a brand new Asia themed area of the park, so we've got a lot of different scenery items and things going in. Of course, they had a family coaster open there a couple of years back as well, and it's all fitting in with this area. It looks great. It reaches a speed of around 60 miles an hour, and the ride itself has got to be tested over 1,000 times to make sure that it is safe before people go on it. Fascinating facts there from the park. I would love to get to Denmark and come and see some of the theme parks there. Not too sure if I'll get a chance to this year. It might be a bit of a last minute trip maybe, but if not, 2020, I would love to come to Denmark, film some vlogs and come and see this. But there you go, that is of course at Djurs Sommerland, the testing of their new ride called Tigeren. Moving on then, a surprise announcement from Europa Park. Yesterday, as in Thursday, was the annual conference where they reveal everything what's happening at the park throughout the year, including new attractions, shows, events. And yeah, they've announced this new dark ride, which is going to be built in the basement of the Scandinavian themed area. It's going to be known as Snorri Touring. And of course, Snoring is the Rulantica mascot, which is the new water park opening in November. And yeah, this looks very exciting. Michael Mack for quite a while has been tweeting, of course, saying, oh, we're going to be doing this, we're going to be doing that, and there's going to be a surprise in the basement. And this is the surprise, Snorri Touring, a new dark ride. Now, of course, the Scandinavia themed area will be reopening next month, May the 24th. However, this won't be opening until autumn, as we can see from the press conference, and it's also on the map as well. So it's an autumn addition to Europa Park. But it is going to be a full dark ride. It's going to be a tracked dark ride system as well going into here. And here's a look at the concepts. It looks very nice, quite magical, of course fitting in with the whole Scandinavia area, and that's what the theme is of the water park and the new Hotel Kronosar. So it all fits together really nicely, and I think this will be a great investment for Europa Park because it's going to help people learn more about the mascot and the water park itself from in the theme park. So really it's a very good, clever marketing strategy by the park. Let's get everybody going on a ride, and then they're going to want to visit the water world, you know, so it all comes together really nicely. Along with that as well today, they've announced, of course, about Paris and Batavia. They've said there's going to be like a preview area on the German alley on the right hand side at Europa Park, where they'll be able to go in and see all different things, like there's an animatronic there now, a little model of what they're going to be doing, and so much more. So that's great. Europa Park are brilliant when it comes to announcing things. They don't like keeping loads of surprise really. They tend to announce stuff and it gets the hype going, it gets everybody excited. So I can't wait for this. Along with the tracked family dark ride in the basement, which is opening later this year, there's also going to be a new Snorri shop opening. The Fjord restaurant, that's completely being redesigned, and that's all opening of course on the 24th. This dark ride will come later in the year, and then Pirates and Batavia in 2020. Very exciting indeed. Now Disneyland Paris, of course, last year they announced something absolutely huge, and that was the fact they were going to be redeveloping Walt Disney Studios. In my opinion, it's my least favourite Disney park out of the 12 that I've been to, which is all the 12 in the world, of course. And yeah, it's not a great park. There's some really nice attractions there. Ratatouille I really enjoy, Crush's Coaster, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. But Armageddon was an opening day attraction from 2002 when that park opened, and it wasn't great at all. The whole experience was about 20 minutes. 15 minutes of that was a boring pre-show, and then you go into the ride element that wasn't a ride really. You'd stand around in this sort of spaceship and it all blew up basically when an asteroid hit. But that is now closed. Construction fences have gone up, and of course Rock and Roller Coaster, also in the backlot section of the park, that's closing on the 1st of September. So at the moment, a pre-warning, if you are visiting Disneyland Paris, it does look a bit of a mess in the studios at the moment, because you've got Art of Animation, that's all blocked off. Of course, Tower of Terror, which has had scaffolding on, but that is coming down quite fast now. And obviously all this fencing what's gone up all around the backlot. So yeah, it's a lot of fencing at the moment in the studios. However, quite a lot of the rides are still available. Of course, you've got Rock and Roller Coaster until the 1st of September. Then that'll close, ready to be rethemed into the Iron Man coaster. And on the Armageddon site, we thought the building might stay, but apparently the building's being completely demolished, and they're building a new show building which will be home to the Spider-Man attraction. In terms of Motors Action Stunt Show Spectacular, the entrance to that was also on backlot. That has now been moved around the back, so you'll walk around the back of the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror to get into that. I think that opened over the past couple of days as well, like new entrance to that. And of course, we still don't know the future of that show. I personally think it might get rethemed to fit with the whole Marvel section, but I'm sure we'll find out more information on that in the future. But still, it's exciting for Walt Disney Studios. Of course, it's not going to be until 2025 when everything's finished, including the new Star Wars and Frozen lands. But the Marvel section, they are saying that it should be finished by 2021, so not too long to wait until we can go and see all of our favourite Marvel characters at the park. So we've already had news this week from Denmark, France and Germany, but now it's back to Germany and Phantasialand for a surprise announcement. This is going to be opening at some point during the summer season. We don't know exactly when yet, but this is going to be a VR experience, and this is going to be taking over the Temple in the Nighthawk attraction, which is an indoor roller coaster that opened in 1988. It's a Vekoma custom layout. It's got like 3 lift hills. The ride goes on forever and ever. So to be honest, it'll probably make quite a good VR ride in that sense. You know my thoughts on VR, I'm not a big fan at all. I actually quite liked the attraction in terms of sitting there in the pitch black. There was no theming or anything around it. All there was a few like sparkling strobe lights at the start on the lift hill and at the brake run on the end. Other than that, a soundtrack played, but it was actually quite relaxing. So I'm hoping that you don't have to wear the VR on this, and they might leave the music on as well, and you can choose, or half the train's VR, half it's not, or maybe one train is, another isn't. I'm not too sure, we don't know the full details yet, but it's definitely happening this year. Of course, Fly, their new prototype launched flying coaster, also built by Vekoma. Now that isn't ready yet, of course they're still working on that. We don't know at the moment when that's going to be opening. I'm leaning towards 2020, like I spoke about the other week. However, this is sort of a nice filler, isn't it, for the park? Get people in this year because they've done something new, so to speak. But the new film is going to be called Crazy Bats, and it's some of the characters from the Happy Family film that Mac Media helped produce, so which is really interesting. So even though Europa Park, of course, Mac Media, Europa Park, they're all part of the Mac family, and Phantasialand are rivals, they're sort of working with them to bring this attraction in, and it's using their VR, what Europa Park create and things. So this is very, very interesting how they've come together to do this. It's nice though, you know, the parks shouldn't be working against each other really. Bit of friendly competition, but everyone, you know, all these theme parks are out there, and each one should be respected individually, in my opinion. But yeah, with this, it's Crazy Bats. The story revolves around 3 cheerful bats who are sort of cool heroes, and you're joining them on a crazy mission. So there you go, opening summer 2019. My thoughts on it, like I say, I'm not a VR person. I quite liked how it was before, so I probably would have liked it if it had stayed how it was. However, there's a lot of people who probably will really like this, and yeah, let me know your comments down below. So that's the new VR coaster, which is taking over Temple of the Nighthawk at Phantasialand from this summer. Moving on then to a bit of UK news and Paultons Park. I spoke back at the start of this video how we went there this week and had a fantastic time, and make sure you check out the vlog if you've not seen it. But tomorrow I'm going to be sharing a construction update, the first in a brand new series. I can exclusively reveal on this video that we are going to be working with Paultons Park throughout the rest of the year and into 2020, bringing you some different construction updates on Tornado Springs. Now this one, there's only a bit of groundwork going on at the moment, so we have filmed it all from around the perimeter, showing you all the fence, what's gone into place. But as we move closer towards the summer and more work happening, we're actually going to be heading over the fence and into the area to bring you some exclusive updates. So I can't really wait to share all that with you. It's going to be brilliant. Really excited. Of course, we know all the guys down at Paultons. They're really friendly. It's a great park, and I definitely recommend you all go down there and check it out. Even more so in 2020, because what they've got planned with Tornado Springs is going to be awesome. But I will give you a little bit of a preview. So here's some shots on the screen. Of course, some video footage that is coming up in this video tomorrow. The start of a brand new construction series here from the UK. They're building a brand new roller coaster, various new flat rides, and retheming some other rides as well, all a part of this. And as you can see, the foundations for the coaster are going into place. Some of the infrastructure is also under construction. And yes, more details to come in tomorrow's video here on the channel. And as I say, we'll move forward with this. I plan on filming, you know, a good 5 or 6 different updates all throughout this, working with Paultons Park. So it's a great partnership to announce, and I can't wait to share that here on Theme Park Worldwide throughout the rest of this year and leading up to the opening of Tornado Springs in May 2020. Over to Spain then now for our next piece of news, and that is from Portaventura World. Ever since my parents first took me there as a kid, I fell in love with the park, and bear in mind I saw it way before Hurricane Condor, Furious Baco, Shambhala. I saw it way before all those were put in, and I've followed it over the years and filmed lots of different vlogs, of course, since I started Theme Park Worldwide in 2012. And what a great park it is. However, it's always lacked one thing: dark rides, because there's only one dark ride at the park, and that is Dino Escape 4D. It opened as Sea Odyssey, and it was Ice Age at some point as well, randomly. But yeah, it's still not a proper tracked dark ride, it's a simulator. But however, in 2019, things are about to change, because this weekend PortAventura opens for the new season with its first proper full-on dark ride, and I can't wait to go and ride this at some point. I'm probably going to get a trip in out there. I've not got anything booked yet. Might be a bit of a last minute one. You might be one of them things where I've filmed this and I'm like, right, tomorrow I'm going to PortAventura, but I'd like to go and see it. And that is Sesame Street Secret Mission, which is being built in Sesamo Ventura at the other side of the train track, so you'll cross over that to get to it. It's the park's first ever tracked dark ride. They've not had any before and removed them. This is the first tracked dark ride they've ever built. I think because they're in Spain, they've built a lot of water rides and outdoor attractions because the weather's normally really nice. But with this, it'll be a nice air-conditioned environment. You can go in there, and it's also been developed by Sally Corporation as well. We saw at IAPA last year the big bird animatronic. Along with that as well, we've seen various other parts of the ride vehicles and things. It all looks really nice. And here's a look at the TV advert. I'll put it there as I'm talking about the rest of the ride. And yeah, you know, it looks great in terms of the design of it. Again, we've not really seen any pictures of other theming or the facade or anything yet, so it's all a bit of a mystery in terms of what this ride's going to entail. What we do know is that it's an interactive dark ride where your vehicle will be have a gun, and you'll be shooting various items around the ride to get a score. And yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting to see how PortAventura pull this off. They're not used to doing dark rides. Like Dino Escape 4D isn't great, so hopefully this will start a new thing for the park in terms of building dark rides. Next door, of course, at the Ferrariland Park, that's also owned by PortAventura, just to point out, they have got a couple of indoor attractions there. They've got a flying theatre and also like another simulator, but they're not in PortAventura Park itself, so this is their first proper track dark ride going into that park. And I say that, they're not track dark rides in the other one, you know, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how this gets pulled off at PortAventura, and I'm sure that I'll get a trip in out there at some point in 2019. The final bit of news then that I'm going to share with you is from Dynamite. I've spoke about this quite a lot at Frizy Park Plum. There we are. You know what my pronunciation's like, it is terrible. But yeah, this new coaster from Mack Rides, it's a Big Dipper. It's the second Big Dipper to be built. The first one being Lost Gravity at Wallaby Holland. And yeah, this looks great. It's got 3 inversions, and here's a POV. So let's get it started. Sorry about the quality of this. It's not great, is it? It was filmed by a news channel over there in Germany, where the park's located. But yeah, like the POV quality is not great, so I do apologise about that. I'm sure the park will release a better one soon. But yeah, it's got 3 inversions, 62 miles an hour top speed. As you can see, it's quite high. In fact, it's 144 feet tall. And then there's a total track length of 1,640 feet on this ride. And it looks really good. Like, look at that head chopper as well. When you go down that first drop into the head chopper element, that looks really, really good. It's quite far out from a lot of the other parks that I visit, but I would love to go there at some point in the future. Very doubtful that it's going to be this year. Pretty much confirmed I won't be getting on this year. But if you are going out there, I would love to know, so let me know in the comments down below. My thoughts on this: it's quite a short ride, but it's a Mack ride, so it's got the quality. It looks like it's quite fast and intense. Some of them corners look great, the inversions look cool, and also the fact as well that it's them Big Dipper trains, you are really exposed on them. It's kind of like Mack's version of a Gerstlauer Eurofighter with the lap bars, not the over-the-shoulder restraints. It's that sort of style. So yeah, I'm looking forward to one day riding this, but I'd like to know if you're going to Frizy Park Plum this year. Let me know, or Fritzy Park, I don't know how to say it, but let me know if you're going this year down in the comments below, and I would love to know. It's now time for Where Am I? Where am I? So yes, welcome to Where Am I? In last week's episode, I shared with you this image just here. Where was it? Well, in fact, a lot of you did get this one right. People who don't really watch a lot of the other videos on the channel might have struggled with this, because I actually spoke a lot about this actually in the Alton Towers vlog, because that's where it was from. It is, of course, the TPW Square, as we've nicknamed it, mainly because it's a new square of path, what they've done. It's the crazy paving, like block paving path, just outside Spinball Whizzer. And we thought we're just going to nickname it the TPW Square. And you'll see later on, when people have actually sent the photos in, on that square this week. But there you go, that's what it was. Well done to anybody who got that right. It's now time for another one. Of course, it's just for fun, and I'll reveal exactly where am I in next week's episode. Where was this photo? There we are, it's zoomed in quite a bit. It's a little bit harder than last week. You seem to be doing really well with this section, so I decided to make it a bit harder. I'd love to know where I am, so comment down below on this video and I'll reveal it in next week's video. It's time for the final part of this week's video. It is, of course, your theme park moments. I'd like you to send in your different photos from the theme parks that you've taken throughout the year. Of course, whether that's pictures of you on the ride, from the on-ride photo points, of course, standing out the front doing a selfie with your friends, or maybe something a little bit different. Send it in to us for your theme park moments. That's what sort of focusing on in 2019. I really want to focus on the memories that you guys have at the parks. As I mentioned back in episode 1, which was 5 episodes ago now, crazy, 5 weeks in already. But yeah, like, it's all about them memories, because theme parks have all got them special moments, and that's what this section is all about. If you want your picture to appear in next week's video, all you need to do is message it into us via the Theme Park Worldwide official Instagram account, or also on our Facebook page as well. Links to both of them can be found in the video description. Here we go then, quite a lot to get through, not as many as last week, but we've still got lots of photos. Firstly, we've got Anna with a Viking River Splash on-ride photo from Legoland Winter. Next up we've got Ola with an Icon on-ride photo from Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Then we've got Joe and the family with me and Charlotte there. Next up we've got Libby, also with me and Charlotte. Next up, Daniel and family. Guess who it's with? It's with me and Charlotte. There we are. I'll say it as always, if you do see us at the parks, come over and say hello. It's always great to have a chat. And in 2019, we've met more lovely fans than ever. Honestly, there's some great people out there that watch our videos. And it's so nice to go and speak to you all and know that you enjoy watching our content. Honestly, it means so much to us. Next up then, we've got Amy with a Jewel on-ride photo. Moving on from that, we've got Angela and her son with me and Charlotte just there as well. We then got Rachel and family at F-Telling. Hope you had a wonderful time. It's a great park. Izzy's up next with a Saw on-ride photo. Then got Leia at Drayton Manor just there. There we are. I hope the rain wasn't too bad for you. Look at this now. It's absolutely chucking it down outside. Oh my, can you hear it? Crazy. Moving on from that, we've then got Joel, Jade and their mum at Thorpe Park. So thanks for sending that one in to us. Kirsty and Chris up next on Avalanche just there. And then we've got Jack, who had a photo with me. Lovely to meet you. Then got the Sydney family, who had a photo there with Alex. Moving on, Jamie with a Walking Dead on-ride photo just there from Thorpe Park. We then got Kat, Elsie and Ashley with Lee and Alex just there at Alton Towers. Along with that, we then got Karen at Alton Towers on the TPW Square. Yes, love it. If you go and see the square this year, then you've got to have a photo on it, or lay on it, or do something crazy, I don't know, and send your photo in to us. Love that one. We then got Brad on the Rocky Express there at Thorpe Park. Really thrilling ride that one, you were holding on tight. Moving on from that then, we've got Joey with a Jewel on-ride photo from Alton Towers. We then got Caitlin and Sam at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. And moving on from that, we've got Lucy and family there at Chessington, so thanks for sending those in. Beth and Alex are up next on Wickerland there at Alton Towers. We then got Jeff outside Copperhead Strike at Carowinds. Can't wait to ride that in just a couple of months' time. So excited for our huge USA road trip. If you want to see exactly where we're visiting, check out our reveal video or follow us on social media, because every day at the moment I'm talking about a different park that we are going to. Links down below in the description. Moving on, we've got Alex at Alton Towers on the TPW Square. Yes, there we are. Love it. Thank you very much for sending that one in. We then got Anthony at the Alton Towers Dungeon. Hope you had a good time. Then got Aaron, who had a photo with me and Charlotte. And also with us just there, we've got Taylor as well. And that's all for the photos this week. So thank you to everyone who sent them in. We then got a very happy 40th birthday to Tom, so happy birthday to you, also to Derek, and also happy 16th birthday to Matthew. Along with that, Poppy would like to wish her mum, Kaz, a very happy Mother's Day. There we are. So thank you very much for joining us for another episode of the Theme Park News Show, which is every Friday at 5 here on Theme Park Worldwide. I'll be back next Friday with another video just before me and Martin jet off to Italy. Really excited to head out there. We're going to Mirabilandia, Gardaland, and maybe a couple of surprises along the way as well that we look forward to sharing with you all. I'm Sean Sandbrook. Thanks for watching Theme Park Worldwide, and that means it's time to cue those credits. See you soon.